Alright guys, and welcome to another episode of Rotten Cassava, and today we'll be reviewing the movie Gangs of Lagos. Gangs of Lagos was released in April 2023 and the movie came with a lot of hype and controversy surrounding it after its release. Before we go into this movie proper, let's just take a time out to talk about the hype and what was expected from the movie. The movie was directed by Jade Sola Osiberu. The movie featured Toby Bakre, Adeswa and Chike as members of its top cast. In addition to his top cast, the movie also featured the member of Ikorodu Boys Malik Sani, and it also featured Afrobeat megastar Zlatan. Of course, from the name of the movie Gangs of Lagos, we can see that it was a rip-off from the popular television series Gangs of London. So from the name and of course from the trailer, the viewers would be expecting something similar to that storyline. The anticipating viewers were expecting a storyline that will link gang life together with government and also politics. Of course, a storyline filled with a lot of twists and turns and a lot of thrilling moments in the movie. And for a fact, with a veteran director like Jade Sola on the team of this movie, we expected that the movie would deliver as it claimed to. And to be sincere, just before we dive into the full movie review, the movie actually delivered what we expected. No wonder the Lagos state government wants to place an embargo on this movie. Of course, with the likes of Toby and Adeswa in this movie, we expected the movie to be packed with a lot of action scenes. Also, from the front cover of the movie, we can see Chike as one of the major characters. But I guess the viewers will be wondering, what will Chike's role be in this movie? I mean, it's a gang movie and Chike was known for being a typical lover boy. So today, Rotten Cassava is going to be rating Gangs of Lagos using our usual rating criteria. So before I move on, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to this channel, like this video if you really enjoy the video, and drop comments when necessary. For the storyline, I think the storyline was perfect. It was unique. I mean, there's a lot to say about the storyline, and this is going to be like, should I say, the longest movie review, because we are going to talk about the storyline and we're also going to find out why Lagos state government wants to put an embargo on this movie. Yes, of course, as anticipated, the story was able to depict a relationship between the gangs of Lagos and Lagos state government. I guess the depiction of this motive was so real, and that's why the Lagos state government had to place a ban on this movie. I mean, 30 minutes into this movie, your mind will just go to two people in current Nigerian politics. Although it was very important for the movie producers and the editors to add this information at the beginning of the movie. And yes, I think they were actually true about this, because from the looks of things, this movie was actually acted, or should I say was actually in production way before the Nigerian election. But I guess a joke actually hurts when you think of it as something that really says the truth about you. I mean, from the reaction of the government, do you really expect Rotten Cassava to give this movie rating based on the story anything less than the highest possible mark we could give to any movie? Before we give the movie a score based on its story, let's talk a bit more about the movie storyline. In addition to the fact that the movie storyline actually portrayed the relationship between gangs and politics, the movie was actually able to tell the story in two different timelines. Although it was nothing similar to a Quentin Tarantino version of telling movies in two different timelines, because this time the timelines actually followed each other in chronological order, with Malik Sani being the protagonist in the first timeline and Toby being the protagonist in the second timeline. Although we expected the storyline to make the movie look more like the Nigerian version of the movie Gangs of London, but it ended up looking like the Nigerian version of the movie City of Gods, which is actually a very nice movie too. So based on the storyline, Rotten Cassava is going to be rating Gangs of Lagos with 4.9 cassavas out of 5. The actors' performances in this movie was actually applaudable, and we can't talk about the acting performances without talking about the directorship too. I mean, the actors were placed on their best roles, and you can see for a fact that nobody was trying to force their way in to fit into any role. And from the prologue of this video, we talked about what role will the likes of Chike play in this hardcore gangster movie. But believe me, when you watch this movie, you are going to understand his role and see that he fits perfectly well into the movie. The movie also brought the likes of Malik into the limelight when it comes to his acting skills. Although this movie wasn't really star-studded like other Nigerian movies that have been reviewed on this channel, but it was able to bring some good actors into the limelight. I mean, so far so good. I think this movie has the best villain of all Nigerian movies in the year 2023. And yes, thanks to the acting performance of this movie was actually a 2-hour movie, but you will be glued to the screen thinking it was just a 30-minute movie. So based on the acting performance of the movie Gangs of Lagos, Rotten Cassava will be giving it a rating of 4 cassavas out of 5. Yes, this time around we are going to be talking about the costume and the movie set simultaneously. I mean, hand in hand, the costume and the makeup design and also the movie set is meant to tell the story of the movie. And from everything seen in this movie, I guess the costume and the movie set was able to complement the story perfectly. So Rotten Cassava is going to be rating the movie set as well as the costume and makeup with whooping 4 cassavas out of 5 each. Alright, next up guys, we are going to be rating the fighting scenes of the movie Gang of Lagos. Well, if there's one thing I would always say about Nigerian movie fighting scenes is that the director should try their best to avoid any imputation of Kung Fu in their fight scenes. And actually, I think the movie Gangs of Lagos tried to stick with that. So based on the fight scenes, Rotten Cassava is going to be rating Gangs of Lagos with 3.5 cassavas out of 5. Alright guys, it's time for the final movie review. So, the movie Gangs of Lagos scored an average rating of 4.08 cassavas out of 5. So from all that has been said and done, you can see that this movie was actually a decent movie, and if you haven't seen the movie right now, I suggest you subscribe to Amazon Prime and go watch yourself this movie. It's also important to note that at the time this video was made, Gangs of Lagos has scored the highest rating on the Rotten Cassava movie review channel. That is to say that unless Nollywood can come up with something way better, I think Gangs of Lagos is going to bag all the movie awards when it comes to Nollywood movies in the year 2023. The movie actually lived up to its expectations, and what I love most about the movie is for the fact that the movie was able to bring out a lot of, should I say, not so popular actors into the limelight. And for those wondering, the way the movie ended, it actually left it open for a sequel. I'm not saying that the story was incomplete, but I'm just saying that the ending of the movie left it open for a sequel, and the movie could actually continue as a franchise. So thank you guys for tuning in to the Rotten Cassava. I hope you like our video. Make sure you subscribe to the channels, check out our previous video, and also for the next episode of Rotten Cassava, we are going to be reviewing the movie Jade.